Welcome, everybody, to Conversations with 1 Million Meditators. Today is really, really exciting. I am here with our ambassador, Aliza Bloom Robinson. Welcome. It is such an honor to have you here today joining us.
Thank you, Tara. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh, it's going to be fun. I know we have so much good stuff to talk about. I'm just going to introduce Aliza. She is touching hearts, freeing souls, and transforming lives. It's what Aliza does. Reverend Aliza Bloom Robinson, transformation catalyst, author, speaker, and ordained unity minister, is the voice for new humanity now. She's committed to ushering in a new consciousness of universal all-ness. An ambassador of 1 Million Meditators, Aliza plays in the quantum field and the frequencies to awaken consciousness, power possibility, and embody brilliance. So she facilitates spiritual awakening through her programs, courses, retreats, and books. And of course, we will leave more information for Aliza afterwards, but it is truly such an honor. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So I guess first of all, I should ask you, what inspired you to join the movement of 1 Million Meditators before I just start gabbing away? Because of course, that's really important here.
Well, it really is. I don't know exactly when that was. I was trying to remember. It was pretty early on, like maybe Anita had done 1 or maybe 2 weekends. And somehow, you know how spirit does, it pops into my awareness. And I said, oh, tell me more, because it was so in alignment with who I am and how I stand on the planet. So for years now, we've been playing together and I've been doing these weekends. I love myself and I love the planet. It is like the pathway and it is the result of doing the awakening work. It is the pathway and the result of new humanity now. And it's time. It's time for 1 million of us to be on the same page at the same time to tip the scale into new humanity now.
Oh, I love that. Just the way you said it, it just sounds so beautiful. And we were speaking a little bit before you came on because I'm really curious to know how you got into this work. You've really got 2 beautiful sides of the spectrum that you bring in from your experience. So I'd love if you could share a little bit about that and how you've evolved to what you're sharing and teaching and helping people with today.
You know, I said that was a good question, but it is so like how to answer that in a minute or 2 is like really broad, right?
You can take time. It's okay.
So even as a child, even as a teenager, I was called to something. I knew in my bones, not with my brain, but in my cells of my being, that there was more than what meets the eye. Like when I was in high school and in a youth program and all of that, I'm like, this sort of kind of gets close, but they're so missing the boat. And so I started really a conscious awakening process when I was probably 18 years old. I'd come into a body of work at that time and it just sort of started blowing my mind. And I've always done that as probably mid 30s or something like that. When I was in my mid 30s, which has been like 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago. I hate to say that out loud. I had an experience, a concrete experience that changed everything for me. And I really my life had fallen apart. Everything was crumbling around me, and I hit my knees really, and I just sort of cried out and I said, I obviously can't run my life. I don't know. I had all these tools in my pocket already. I knew how, but I didn't know how. And in that moment of surrender, I heard, if you follow, I will lead. And out of that moment in time came a covenant that I made with spirit. I said, I said I would follow, and then everything began to open up. Now I did never say I wouldn't argue, but I did say that I would follow. And so it was only a year or 2, maybe a couple years after that, I got the call to ministry, and then I got the call into ministry, and then I got the call to go to different churches. And then in 2010, I got the call out of ministry. which was very fascinating. But it was another one of those moments in time where everything sort of pivoted, and everything pivoted in that moment that was about 18 months long. So that moment was a journey in itself. But I heard in that moment, I heard the question, are you willing to serve creation? And I was like, absolutely. And then I heard immediately following that, then you'll be asked to surrender everything. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, I've been an ordained minister. I've been on the path. I've been leading churches for over 10 years. I got this down. And I didn't. I mean, I think I did relative to others. But what I led into then was a journey that, looking back, I call another level of spiritual initiation. And I did have to surrender everything, my job, my career, my relationship, my stuff. I was in my car for about 15 months, just doing the awakening work. That's it. And it was profound. And I was given in that time just awareness. I've been given a system to quickly, easily, gently transcend, dismantle lifelong limiting patterns and beliefs, clearing the subconscious. I was given some of the awakening tools, some of the awakening. And now where I like to play with my clients, with my groups, with myself, is in this place that we call the quantum, in this realm called new humanity. So it's sort of a separate, almost alternative reality a little bit, but that's more real to me than what we look at out in the world today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds juicy. I'm just going to take a moment here, and I'm going to say hello to Sheila joining us, Janet. I see a few others on. Thank you so much. Pop in the comments below where you're joining us from. We always love to hear from you. So one of the things that I was really curious to ask you about, because, we here at 1 Million Meditators are very passionate about the impact that global meditations and group meditations have on humanity. And, everybody has talked about before and heard about the power of prayer. So I'm really curious your perception of the two, because mine has always been they're similar, but they're just slightly different. And they have their ways. It's just, but you've been in this realm, obviously you have much more experience than I do. So I would love to hear your perception surrounding that.
Yeah, so the simplest way that I like to distinguish them, because they are like related but different. So in the unity movement, of which I am a part of, we say that prayer is talking, communicating to God, to spirit, to source. So in prayer, we're lining ourselves up. We're in gratitude. We're in forgiveness. Sometimes we're in begging and beseeching, which those don't work as well, but that's still prayer. Whereas meditation is about getting out of our way, landing in the depths of our being, which I call a point of stillness, which then is really the portal to the infinite mind, to the quantum field, to the essence of who we are, and basking there. I know we do a lot with Joe Dispenza. I know Joe Dispenza's work was sort of a catalyst for all of this. And Joe Dispenza talks about being in that place of the void. Meditation, when done, I'm going to say properly. I don't mean properly like if you're not doing it that way, you're doing it wrong. I don't mean that. But to its greatest potential is entering the void of infinite possibilities and unlimited potential, basking in the stillness. And then from that place, lining up with our greatest desires, our biggest, boldest, most becoming essence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did that answer your question kind of sort of? There's a whole other layer, really. But.
Yeah. No, and absolutely. And that's a really beautiful distinction, because I've often had kind of people ask me about that and what's the difference, as they were kind of getting into the practice. But I love what you said there, because there is that separation between the two. So from your experience, what has your experience been on the impact of global meditations, as we gather, like we're about to hear this weekend coming up here with 1 Million Meditators. And I'm sure with the work you do, because I know we're going to be talking about this quantum frequency stuff. So, it all ties in.
It all ties in. And I had a wobble in my internet, so I'm not exactly sure what your whole question was, but I did hear about this weekend's event. So I'm going to talk about this weekend's event. Is that good?
Yeah. Just I was curious about your impact on, the impact and the ripple effects that come from, global meditations and collectively setting our intentions together in this way.
Yeah. So let me say it this way. Every time we connect with another person, it quantifies the field. So I can sit and meditate, and I have for years, for decades by myself. But when I join in meditation with even one more person, or a small group of people, or 1 million people across the world, it's like bringing a laser focus. The group consciousness and the consciousness which we've seeded these global meditation weekends or events is that it is every time somebody else joins, the field goes like, and it gets deeper and richer and broader. And when we do that, it's easier for people to come in. It's like they can tip their toe in the water, so to speak. They can catch a glimmer of one of the, I don't know how many meditations we're doing this weekend, but one of them, and feel the impact of that collective. So when I join in, and part of the reason I really was excited about joining in is I want to be much more global in my impact. I want to be much more connected to other people who are doing this work. Mm-hmm. So every time we do it, it gets deeper and broader. And we physically are reaching more and more people every single time we do it. And beyond that, the field, oh, I love myself and I love the planet, that is a global field when we do this together, is anchored in. So we're building new pathways. We're opening up doorways. It's like the veil is thin when we do this together so people can access it. When they access it, a couple of things might happen. They might just go, oh, I do love myself and the planet. Or they might be inspired to participate. Mm-hmm. And their whole lives might potentially change. And that way our globe changes, right? Our whole planet changes.
Mm-hmm. And that's been my experience. It quantifies, and then there's the ripples that seem to kind of trickle out afterwards, and it continues that energy, which kind of is leading into this. I want to talk a little bit about the work that you do. We were speaking before, and I'm so excited because I love talking about all this juicy stuff. You were sharing with me about this quantum frequency device, and also you've got a class coming up that's tying this all in, and it's super juicy. So I think everybody's gonna really love to hear about this one.
Yes. So the quantum frequency device is exactly that. This little handheld device, in its base model, you can upgrade, you can get higher editions of this, but in this base model, it has over 144,000 different frequencies put into different programs and different packages. This quantum frequency device has the capability of scanning my field, our field, the bioenergetic field of the planet or whoever I'm working with, and then send frequencies to bring our body, mind, heart, soul, spirit system into coherence, into alignment, into resonance. Now, as it happens, this little magic gizmo is also FDA cleared class 2 medical device for pain, arthritis, and chronic pain. And the FDA clearance says, and other non-medical uses. So it's because of the FDA clearance that we have to be really conscious about how we speak with it. Mm-hmm. At the level of the FDA clearance, it works on my specific frequencies into your electromagnetic field, which causes your cells, the membranes in your cells, to get healthier and younger, which causes your body, mind, heart, soul, spirit system, when we come into resonance, coherence, everything opens up for perfect healing, for perfect wholeness and alignment. And it's absolutely a phenomenal tool. So I use it with my clients, I use it with my family, I use it for myself. And tomorrow, just as it happens, I'm doing a completely free, complimentary quantum frequency group harmonic. And I can tap, I don't really have the link. You can find it on my Facebook page, but
we can add it afterwards. I'll get it from you.
Perfect.
Make sure it's put below. Yeah, because this is going to be lovely. So pay attention, guys. You could totally join into this.
You could totally join in. It's completely complimentary, and it's just going to be really fun. And it goes right in alignment, right? Because I kind of had forgotten we were doing this weekend. So, but what we'll play with is our 1 million meditator intention, because it works on intention. So we'll put the intention in. I love myself and I love the planet, and then we'll do some really fun, yummy things with that.
Ooh,
and it's only an hour, so it'll be really yummy. So somebody said they're interested, so we'll make sure to get you the link. Also, I'm tagged on here, so if you send me a personal message or tag me in the comments, I just need your email so I can get you the Zoom link.
Yes.
So
we will make sure that's below. And I want to give a shout out to Gianna, Antonetta, Vesna, Anella. I apologize if I said anybody's name wrong, but we're super excited to have you joining us here. Let us know where you're from. One of the things that we do here, Aliza, each week on 1 Million Meditators is a heart share, where we send out some extra love and warm fuzzies to anything. It can be someone. And so this week for me, of course, I'm going to send it out to everybody that's tuning in and that's going to be joining into the vibration this weekend here at 1 Million Meditators, because the more love you have, the more when you join us, we're just going to be able to share this vibration out even farther and ripple. So that's my love share. Aliza, you go ahead.
Somebody's asking, Antonetta, is London, it's 5 p.m. London time tomorrow, I believe, but we'll have to check, because London's about to change time, and we already have, so we have to just double check those global time zones, which is really interesting. But I love that you do that, because that's what we do. We sprinkle and we sparkle and we zing, and every time we zing, like being a minister, I get a lot of people saying, will you pray for me? And I'm like, absolutely. But right now it is like that. It's like opening space for miraculous outcomes, opening space for deeper love, for greater wholeness, for compassion and kindness and innovation and beauty and joy. And we all know when we're filled with love, it flows so freely. So that just clears the blocks.
Yeah. Well, if there's anything I think that this last year has kind of shown us or brought awareness to, is really that reminder anything is possible. And so if we shift our perception in the positive light of that kind of, the experience of it all, it really is the unlimited possibilities, and there's unlimited potential of what we can do. So I love it. It's juicy. So join us, because we will be starting tonight, actually about 10 o'clock. We've got musicians joining us from Bali, and it will just carry on over the weekend. I believe, Aliza, you are on tomorrow. We can post
like
the
a
time for that below in the
5
comments.
o'clock, 5:30 Central Time, 5 o'clock, I think, Central Time tomorrow evening.
Yeah. And of course, we will, of course, make sure that those links for Aliza are in the comments below. One of the things also I love to ask you here at 1 Million Meditators is, if I was to give you a magic wand and you were to wave it, what would you do with it? What magic would you create?
I would create a field. It's already there, but I would create a pathway for every person on the planet to know that they are loved, that we are one, that we're in this together, that they're not alone. I would wave the magic wand so that everybody could open their eyes and see what life on this planet can be when we love ourselves and we love the planet, because it is so rich. It is so far from what we're seeing in the outer world right now. And it's happening right here and right now.
That's a good one. That's such a good one. Absolutely. I love it. And another thing that I'm sure people would love to know more about is you do have some books available, and talk about too a little bit where we can all find you, because I'm sure some people, I know we've got your juicy, yummy class going on tomorrow, but there's other ways that people can reach out and work with you.
Yes, so I just put my website in the comments there, AlizaBloomRobinson.com. There's the event tomorrow's not on there because I never put it on, but it is, or what is on there is a tab for books. This is one of the books that I've written. I have 3 Amazon bestsellers that are mine. This is called Paradox of Awakening, Finding Peace in a World of Chaos. They're also available on Amazon. I've been a collaborator in a number of other books. In fact, somebody said to me recently, do you know you have 9 Amazon books? I'm like, I didn't actually know that. They are anyway, go get my books. Go look at my books. The other one, the newest one is called Shiro's Journey, like hero with an S. Mm-hmm. And Shiro is our heroine, and she is on awakening journey. And she's here to save the planet, but she's born from a different dimension. So it's a light but deep spiritual adventure. And it's a lot of fun to read. You could read it in an afternoon. It's also on Amazon. They're all available in paperback and also not audiobooks, sorry. I'm working on that. Ebooks.
The fun stuff. Okay, so that is amazing. And we will also make sure to drop some links below on where you can find those books because they sound absolutely juicy. I'm going to have to get myself a copy as well. So I'd be curious, Aliza, if there's something that you could share with those watching as they're going on their journey and on the path and kind of with all the energies and everything that's happening in our planet right now. What's a tool or a strategy that you could give them to just keep them on their path, know that they're guided on their way, to feel, that they're in a safe space? Is there something that you could offer for those listening today?
Yeah, the first one is a line, usually probably from Abraham or Esther Hicks or somebody way back when I started listening way back when. And the first thing is, don't worry, you're never going to get it done, but you can't do it wrong. So take a breath, it's okay, right? The second one is look at where your feet are standing. Bring your awareness down to your feet because most of our stress and dis-ease, whether it's physical or whatever, comes because we're either living in the past or the future. So when we can bring our awareness right now into this moment, everything, a simple way to do that is to feel your feet. Feel your feet connected to the ground. Feel your energy moving through your feet into the earth. And once you do that, your system, your body will go, and then look up. Because it doesn't matter how broad or deep or awakened our consciousness is. We can only see, we always have tunnel vision. And the action of looking up will give you a perspective that will guide you to the next step. If you're caught in something, get help. People like me are more than happy to help. There's a million ways to get out of where you are to where you want to be, but know that you can do it. Just know that you can do it. And if your prayer is, help me find a way to do it, begin to feel oh, I'm so happy and grateful now that I found a way to do it. The last part of that is how is none of your business. we get caught because we want to figure out how. It's none of your business. You have to get out of your way in order for spirit to show up. I mean, the way you feel it, you can see it, you can begin to believe it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Oh, that's just so lovely. I absolutely love it. I want to say thank you again to those of you that are watching. Again, if you joined in late or you are catching the replay, please hashtag replay so that we know you're here. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, we'd absolutely love if you would leave us a review. It's always helpful to hear from you. We love to know who's watching. And of course, again, we do have our global meditation kicking off this evening, and it is going through tonight, Saturday, and Sunday for 48 hours. So please join in and join in all the yumminess with us. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Aliza, it has just been such an amazing conversation today with you, diving into all this juiciness, all of this yumminess. But before you go, even though you've given us like so many goodies, is there anything that you want to leave us with, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of hope, something as we move through this energy and I don't know, this weekend, this shift?
When you love yourself, you love the planet. When you love the planet and you love yourself, you open a doorway for greater ease, for greater fulfillment, for greater happiness. And sometimes you have to let go of the old stuff, meaning your story, meaning your victimhood. What if you could come into alignment right now, today, in this moment, on this weekend, to a deeper realization that you are love and you are loved. You are not alone. You are a part of this incredible, brilliant planet and this amazing journey we're on.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Aliza. It's just been incredible to have your insight, your wisdom, and your experience and your energy here. It's fabulous.
Oh, thank you, Tara. It's been so fun to know you, to be with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, yes. So please, those of you that watch, give us some hearts, share this out. And of course, we will see you again next week. Thank you so much. Again, look for the links below on where you can find Aliza, and tune in tomorrow for her juicy, juicy class, the quantum frequency. It's super juicy. Super juicy. We're sending you all, we're sending you all good vibes, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.